I came in at Miami time, right? Everybody in Miami shows up 20 to 15 minutes late, right? Hey. So I'm getting into the live thing, right? And I totally have to open my front door, fix my lashes, make sure my lighting is good. Shout out to my architect that fixed my lighting because it was a hot mess before. So I really like the song, but I don't want to mess up anybody's. Come on in. Let's see what our title looks like. Come on in, come on in. I don't know if you guys can see the title on here. I hope you can. Let's see. Yeah, the title's there. It's the kissy faces for me. Right? Okay, so we're gonna get right to it. Shout out to my architect that fixed my lighting. I was trying to decide whether or not to either come in super early or like super on time because everybody's super late, and then fixing my lighting, make sure everything is right, and I don't know what I'm doing for real in real life. So I'm trying to fix it so you guys can see me, but oh, there we go. That's better. Cool. Hey, so boom, let's get right to it. So Florida liquor licenses. So a friend of mine also told me that you definitely have to stay on live for 15 minutes. Like, what's that about? So you have to stay on here for 15 minutes, waste people's time. Can we just get right to the topics that people want to know about? Let's just go right to it. So I'm trying to figure out how to shorten this video also on live to make sure enough people can see just the data and not all of the BS before and after, right? So, a Florida liquor license. So, if you're getting into the restaurant business at all, before I was saying you can get into the restaurant business with no money down. Not all people that get into the restaurant business know how to cook, or not all people that get into the restaurant business are chefs or actually work in the restaurant business. They just invest in them, right? So, with that being said, you can get a liquor license in the state of Florida for around the price of like $2,500, right? Most people don't even know that. So with that, those type of margins on liquor, and liquor's 80%. So the businesses that are doing well right now are restaurants, strip clubs, and anywhere that sells alcohol, right? All necessities, because things are in a down slump is what they're saying. So with that being said, investing in the restaurant business is a big deal right now because it also allows you a lot of cash flow. With that cash flow, like I was saying the other day, and the reason I'm calling this free lunch is because I'm giving you stuff that you're never going to hear about. It's things that you're not even going to be able to Google or find somewhere else, right? What happens is in these larger restaurants, or the ones that know what their margins are going in, what they do is they go ahead and run it up, right? They run it up. They get those margins. They hit their 60 grand, their 70 grand, those 30s, those 60s, those 90 days, and then they lend off that money, right? Out the gate. As long as you have deposits for 6 months, a bank's going to lend you a lot of the SBA money that they've been funded, FYI. That money's been funded to them 10x, so now they're lending it to us at a premium, which is fine because you're going to know what to do with it, right? In the restaurant business, there's always a lot of cash flow. There's always a lot of buying and selling. There's always a lot of real estate available for purchasing power, so you'll figure out what to do with that. So, boom, you lend on that money. So now, once you lend on that money, right, you deposit it, you hold it, you lend it again, right? So now we're lending at, 140,000 instead of 70. You know what I mean? So you're 10xing it as long as you don't have any sticky fingers in a business. That's why it's important who controls your corporations, who controls the bank accounts, what happens with that stuff. Boom. So now let's get into liquor licenses, right? Your liquor licenses now fit into a demographics. There's 2 forms of liquor licenses, right? And this is actually not so much new knowledge for me. But I've ran into models that are juice bars, right? So these models that are juice bars do not require liquor licenses, but what they do have is really good margins, right? So they have super duper good margins, and you don't really have to get into a whole bunch of money to get into them. So with that being said, once you go into your liquor license, there's two forms, right? You got what's something called a 4COP, which is a full liquor license. You can Google it if you like. Paperwork's so hard you won't be able to do it by yourself. It's just like that, right? They make it difficult enough so certain people can't get in, and they make it easy enough so you know the masses have access. So with your 4COP, this is a liquor license that you can get at any restaurant. Sell it till 4 a.m. depending on where you're located at. And with this license, you'll be able to sell liquor till 4 a.m. Open bottle, not closed bottle, mixed drinks. Your standard TGIF Fridays, right? Give or take. That particular license right there. Those people get into those liquor licenses for about $2,500. How about that, right? $2,500 is what it costs them to get into that liquor license, right? The average person having a conversation about a liquor license is saying, hey, the liquor license is going to cost you this, it's going to cost you that. Yes, it is if you don't fall under these demographics, right? So with this liquor license, under these demographics, under what I would call a restaurant tag, right? Under this restaurant tag, this liquor license is going to cost you about $2,500 going in, right? But you have to know where you're putting it, right? So here are the requirements to get a liquor license at $2,500 a month, or I'm sorry, a year, $2,500 a year, and get it popping, right? You don't even have to know how to cook at this point, right? You just have to have a restaurant or a model that fits the demographic, mind you. Let's pick Hollywood, for example, a demographic that I love right now. Hollywood is 65% Caucasian, right? It's 65% American white. Jews come in town. The average lady from Wyoming, Lisa, is Googling Hollywood, right? And she's not looking for a hookah bar. FYI, guys. Stop putting hookah bars in Hollywood, right? There's too many hookah bars. Nobody wants to go to them. They're all the same stuff. People are over it, right? People want something different, right? They want a museum. They want something they can learn from. They want something they can take back home to their family. They want something they can do with groups. They don't want to just turn up with their boys, right? Because turn up with their boys turn into very expensive money, right? Because now we're at $100 hookahs because you can't afford your bills, right? We're over it from the outside. I've been an owner from the outside. I've been an owner from the inside. I've been an investor. I've been a millionaire. I've been a little bit of everything. So I know what it's like to go somewhere and overspend and not be wowed. And a lot of people right now, as hard as times are, they're over it. A lot of people are over it. So back to your liquor licenses, right? So now all you have to have is a restaurant that sells, write this down, guys. Come on in. This is the important part. You don't miss this. A restaurant that is 2,500 square feet, right? That sits 150 people, and you can serve them. That is all you need. Did you get that? That's going to cost you $2,500 to apply for that. The person that applies has to be on a corporation. Let's not be silly about it. Like, it can't be Key Lolo down the block, and then you got, no. Has to be somebody that's on your corporation, right? That's going to be a part of that business. That does not have a background, no record, none whatsoever. Get in Grandma Lucy, Auntie whoever, get who you need to get on that paperwork where their credit is above a 750. I don't care who you got to get, and they have no record. Do we understand the assignment, right? Boom. That is all you need to get into the business of the liquor license business. That is it. You need a space that is 2,500 square feet, right? Which also assumes a space as a restaurant that's going to sell 51% of food, right? That can sit 150 people, right? Not even comfortably. They don't got to be comfortable at all, okay? They just got to be able to sit down or stand up, right? And be able to serve them. Now you're able to tap into the liquor business. Now you're able to tap into the Victory business. Now you're able to tap into the Iguanas business. Now you're able to tap into all those businesses that you see these crazy fly-by-night people getting into, and you're looking like, why are you spending $5,000 to hang out with, at their establishments? That's how they're getting into it, right? They're getting into locations that are 2,500 square feet that they can set enough people in, stuff them in, and serve them liquor. They're putting somebody on a corporation that does not have a background. They can apply for a liquor license in the state of Florida, and it costs them $2,500. They're gonna get it, right? They're gonna get it. They're gonna apply. They're gonna get it. They're gonna get approved, right? If that location is CO'd, which is called a space of use, if you're using that space as a restaurant, that's not gonna be something called a CPO4. So you have now the availability to sell liquor up until 4 a.m. if you'd like to. Did you get all that? Right? Tell me about it, right? That's how you get into that business. So that's why in the industries now, South Florida is such a hot spot for hookah bars, lounges, bars, those type of things. It's such a hot spot for these pop-up places because they're not getting into it for a lot of money in, right? And they're not putting a whole bunch of money into it. And they got a bunch of partners that are tapping out little or nothing into business. So there's so many, I won't call them broke people, right? There's so many people that are needy of the money that went in. Now, everybody that needs it, they take it out, they take it out, they take it out. So now that business can't grow. You know them. Your hookah spots, you're this, you're that. That's like, you go there and they're raggedier than they were before and they're charging you more now because inflations are happening. And what they did was they pulled all the money up out of the business. So they put nothing back into it and they took everything out of it. So now when you get into this business and you invest in it with a group of people, right, that have the same like mind, right? Let me tell you something. It don't matter what you sell, right? It almost don't even matter what it tastes like at this point, right? It just matters if it falls into a demographic of people that want to eat it. That's it. That's it. It just has to sit enough people that want to eat that stuff, right? That are going to pay for it at the margin that you're going to make a profit and sell liquor on top of it. That is it. Put 4 or 5 people that have the same like mind with the same amount of money that don't have to pull the money out of the business within the first year. Is a year a long time to become a millionaire? I'm asking. Is a year a long time to have consistent cash flow? What I have learned in the restaurant business as well is that cash flow is king, right? Because when you stop getting it and you don't have it and you don't have that restaurant, things are changing, right? Your ability to purchase is completely different than it was before. So if you're going to get yourself a liquor license at little or nothing down or no money down, this is how you're going to get it. I'm going to give you guys a really quick recap. I don't know how long we've been on here. I hope I hit my 15 minutes. But either way, you guys can go, well, so you do have your other liquor license, the one that everybody talks about. So there's another liquor license, which is also a CO. Well, they call it it's a 4 COP, right? So a 4 COP is going to fit into a space that's 2,500 square feet, but you're going to get it under a restaurant tag. When you fall off of that is when you go under 2,500 square feet, right? And you're selling just straight bottles, right? We're talking your smaller hookah lounges, the little smaller places. If they're under 2,500 square feet, they have a liquor license that's it's a 4 COP, but they have paid an actual tag for it. It's like buying a house, so it's like financing for it. So those things right now are going for like $575. Before, pre-pandemic, 2.5 years ago, those liquor licenses were probably going for about $275, $250, and people were kind of taxing on them, waxing on them. They're using them as mortgages, so on and so forth. But now the price is almost doubled, so it's about $550, $425, or you can bid for them, but they're very expensive. Now, what you can do with that license is you can run that license in Miami till 5 a.m. You could run that license in Broward till 4 a.m. You'll have to get additional security at nighttime to be able to run a license until 4 a.m. in Broward. You'll have to get additional security in Miami to run a license like that in Miami-Dade until 5 a.m. Now, with that 4 COP that you have paid for, like a mortgage, with that particular 4 COP, now you're going to be able to have that license any time of day at any square footage. So if you want to do 1,000 square foot, whatever, you can run that license. 1,800 square feet, you can run that license. If not, you'll be out of the realm of running that liquor license at that cheaper margin. So this liquor license will cost you $575,000, $500,000, right? It's like a mortgage. They put a tag on it. They rent it to you. Let's FYI too. Those liquor licenses cannot change counties, right? A lot of people get into a situation where they rent liquor licenses from somebody else that lives in another county. They'll have somebody in Miami-Dade where they're renting a liquor license from somebody in Broward and say, oh, dog, yo, you can rent it. They'll charge them $2,500, $3,000 a month to rent that liquor license, and they're not licensed to sell liquor at all, okay? You guys got to be very careful about what license you're getting the liquor from, right? and what county it is in. It's county specific, and you are not allowed to transfer your liquor license from one county to another, okay? You cannot transfer a liquor license from Broward County to West Palm, to Palm Beach County, to Miami-Dade. It is not allowed, okay? It's illegal, and the manager on property will get arrested if something goes down. So, FYI to you, right? I can tell you the good, bad, or the ugly. You can, jump in when you want. Hey, listen. You can do it illegally if you like to, right? That is totally up to you. I'll give you all the margins you need, whatever you got to do. But let me tell you, I'll tell you how it ends up. It's not good. So you're better off just doing it the right way, right? So your 4 COP liquor license that falls under 2,500 square feet, you have to have 150 people sit down in your restaurant, and then you'll be able to get that liquor license for $2,500 a month. Well, it's a little bit under that. I think it's like $1,800 a month is what you pay. And then to apply for that license, it'll cost you about $2,500. So you'll be able to get into the liquor license business at $2,500. You got me? At $2,500, you'll be able to get into the liquor license business. You'll be able to get into the restaurant business. It's a very small cost for putting into a business that has margins at 80%, and that also works in a demographic when there's a recession. Right now, we are in a recession. Right? We would call ourselves like we're in a recession right now. So right now that we are in that recession, we are now want to get ourselves in recession-proof businesses. Restaurants, anything that sells beer and wine and liquor, anything that has hot ladies, okay? The strip clubs are doing very well right now. That's what I'm hearing. So your 4 COP at $2,500 is going to get you into the restaurant business, and that's how you get that, right? If you have a credit card, you put it on there. That's no money down for you, right? If you have somebody that knows how to cook, even better. If you're missing some of those components that are necessary to put all that together, DM me. We have a bunch of models. I have an amazing architect. I have an amazing financing girl. Her name is Gloria. Her name is Glowstar. I have amazing connects. Brian, B-Mac, we're about to do big, big things. I got amazing content for you guys coming, and a lot of data. So if you want looking to get into the restaurant business, or you're looking to do something with a liquor license that you have currently, or get into the alcohol business in that form, there's a lot of ways to get into it right now, right? That's all you're going to need, that 2,500 square feet to sit 150 people. Listen, you don't even have to know how to cook. We could put the rest in. It's just a model. If you're not emotional about it, neither are we. We're trying to get to the bag. Got it? So let's get that restaurant open for you. DM me if you have any questions. Send this live to somebody else that might have a question about a liquor license that they currently have, that they may want to get into. They've been looking to get into the restaurant business, and they're not sure what they want to sell. A lot of people right now are getting into the restaurant business with their funding, their PPP money, however they're doing it. They're getting into the restaurant business, and they don't have the operations in tag, right? Let us get you into that lease, right? Let's put an operations tag on you. Let's find out what you want to do. Put a system together to get you approved for that lease, to get you approved for that space, to get your operations going. You may have a spark of an idea, but as long as you have the money to fund it, we can make it happen for you. You know what I mean? Let's get it going. So DM me if you guys have any questions. If you don't understand anything about liquor licenses, restaurants, hookah bars, where to put them, your demographics, what to sell, what to open, what your menu should look like, what it should cost right now in these crazy times, what your Uber Eats should optimize like. We have everything kind of built in for you guys. So let me know what you need.